Good evening, everybody. I'm Derek Michaud, and it's time to go flush in the pocket. Presented by Brunswick, sponsored by Just in Time Recreation. Check them out at justintimebowl.com. They hope to be reopened, later this spring here, and I know we all can't wait for that to see what they do, to rebuild from that horrible tragedy. And want to say a quick congratulations to Ron Booker winning his first title, first major in his first TV appearance, and the third African-American bowler to win on the PBA Tour. Congratulations to him. Tonight, we got a great one. We have 8-time PBA champion, PBA Hall of Famer. I mean, this guy is awesome. His son is the pro with the fro. But you know what? It's not Kyle's dad. It's Guppy Troup, okay? The guy's got 8 titles. I mean, he did an amazing job on the PBA Tour when he was on. And, it's going to be a great show. Let's welcome 8-time champion, PBA Hall of Famer, Guppy Troup. How are you, sir?
Oh, thank you, sir. Great. Feel great to be on here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the easiest guess because he was like, "Hey, how do I get on here?" I was like, "Okay, let's do this." So you are in the PBA Hall of Fame, is that correct?
No, I was up to get into it at the same time Ernie Schlegel got in.
Okay.
And the vote went to Ernie, and then the PBA was sold to the company, and they upped it to 10 titles.
Oh, we got to get you in there, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
for that.
well, my son was telling me that the commissioner's been talking. There might be a separate, part for the Hall of Fame to where other guys will get in, maybe with 8 titles. I'm probably the head of the list to get in the Hall of Fame. That's not in there.
Well, you know what? Steve Jaros got in. I guarantee. I'm pretty sure you're going to get in. I can't see how you don't. So,
well, if they do, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. How did you get the name Guppy? Your name is John. Where'd Guppy come from?
Well, I bowled in the junior league in Columbia, South Carolina. And we were bowling in the junior league. And the team we had for the city tournament was the Guppies. And, of course, I put it together, so I just kept the name. And ever since then, it's been Guppy instead of John Troup.
Yeah. All right. There you go. That's great. So hold on here. Let me get some questions. Okay. That one second. Let me get rid of this. Don't save. Okay. All right. So how did you start bowling in the first place?
Oh, well, my mother bowled the coffee league in the mornings. And I think I started when I was like probably about 6 or 7. Started going down with her. School was out, and during the summer we'd go down to the league. And I'd go with her, and then I just practiced while she was bowling with the ladies in the coffee league.
Yeah. So who coached you?
I had some of the best coaches. I had Bill Dodd, J.C. Williamson, a bunch of guys that had been on the tour already a few times. And, they just took me under their wing.
Okay.
And we kept going. And even after I won titles, I used to come home. I worked for a friend of mine that owned the gas station across the street from the bowling center. I'd always go over and pump gas.
Yeah. All right. So when you were dreaming of being a pro, who did you look up to?
Well, probably, you got Carter and got Weber. I looked up to all the older guys that are probably not around now, but I used to watch Marshall all the time. What's so bad, I grew up with Norm Duke, just about.
Mm-hmm.
And I won my big title was 84 in Columbus Open, and I beat Norm Duke when he was a rookie.
Wow.
So at least I can say I beat Norm Duke.
There you go. So what did you accomplish in your bowling life that made you ready to try the tour and think you could be successful?
I just didn't want to work for a living.
All
That
right.
was pretty simple, but everybody, gave me some money and I went out. It's funny because I went to the bank and I borrowed $1,000. I was going to make that last for the first 5 tournaments of the tour. The entry fee had to be a lot less than what it was now. I can't remember, it's $500 now, but I think we might have paid $200 for an entry fee into it. And I ended up borrowing $1,000 in the bank and went out and bowled and ended up winning my in 1978 Battle Creek, Michigan on the 2000 I borrowed from the bank.
Nice.
And got like, I believe it was about $10,000. But that's back in the 70s, late 70s. So
yeah,
worth a lot more than it is now.
Right. So you wear a lot of flashy clothes on TV and stuff like that. What made you start doing that? How did do you do that today? I mean, how'd that start?
Well, it's funny. I was in Oklahoma somewhere, and Richard Altman at a tournament in Oklahoma. And somebody told me if I was looking for wild-looking clothes, there was a bunch of stores. There was a store downtown that sold the kind of pants I looked for. So sure enough, I went down and bought 10 pairs of pants down there. And if anybody's ever watched the show, when I made the show in Richard Altman's place, they had me go, and right before the TV time, they taped me picking out the pants I was going to wear for the show and then modeling them all on TV. So I got a pretty good going from that. That, and then I had the gold and the bracelets and the rings and all that.
Yeah. Do you still wear those? Do you still wear that stuff today?
I still have my rings.
Right. Oh, yeah. There you go.
The clothes, well, I made the show. They booked Kyle and I to do a TV, one of the things. We were the kings of the lanes at that time. So we sat with I had a green and yellow pair of pants. He had the same green and yellow pair of pants, in which I always went with the straight shirts. I never wore wild shirts like Kyle. So all I had was Kyle got me a shirt made down the middle. It was purple or orange and green or something. And he had exactly the opposite. We ended up as the Kingpins.
Yeah.
We take the show down in Florida. I got a whole game. We bowl one game apiece. You know, he'd bowl, I'd bowl, he'd bowl, I'd bowl. But I didn't do that good back in that time. But I did make the baby washout.
Okay.
310. The 310.
Yep.
And I turned around and I forgot I didn't ever send a message out. So I said, "Here, take that, Pete Weber."
Right.
I gave it the gut thrust.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had gut thrust way before Weber had the Weber chop.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What was your best moment on tour?
Probably 84 when I won the Budweiser in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
I ended up qualifying second and ended up bowling Wayne Webb first. I beat him. Then I went on to bowl Norm Duke. He was tournament leader. I qualified second. And I was on the approach, first frame. I'm on the approach. I'm set on the approach. I'm ready to go. And I said, "Oh, wait a minute. I forgot something." So I laid my ball down. I had my fiance behind me. So I went back and got a kiss from her. Then went out and started bowling. It turned out good.
Yep. There you go. Gotta always kiss the fiance.
Oh, yeah.
Life. Yeah. What would you say is your worst moment on tour?
Oh, well, I hate to say it, but I never really had a worst moment. Anytime I was on TV, whether I won or lost, it didn't matter. I was going to put a good show on.
Oh, yeah. And you did.
I mean, I hated losing, but as long as I was on TV, that's all that mattered to me. I might have kept it a little bit different. All these guys were wanting to win titles. I was just glad to be there and put my ugly face on TV.
What was your last TV show like? I know it was the 98 flagship. Kyle's in the crowd.
Yeah.
And
I thought you were talking about the one I loved. The last one I won was 85.
No, right.
But yeah, I remember Erie, Pennsylvania, because it was everybody says, "Man, you got to come out and bowl this one time." You know, so I said, "Oh, what the heck?" So I went ahead and drove all the way up to Erie, ended up making the show and all that. And Flew in my third wife,
Mhm.
and Kyle was there too. Kyle sat in the audience. He was about 8 to 10 years old.
Yep.
And he sat back there and watched me. And I was just having a good time. As anybody that watched the show, I was hooping and hollering and banging around all over the place.
So
Didn't win. I won my first match, but I lost my second match.
yeah. So we were talking on the phone, and you were talking about you and Kyle are super close, and
Oh,
but
yeah.
when you were bowling, I mean, he had to get quarters from you.
Oh, yeah. I was on bowling in Pensacola, I think it was, somewhere down in Florida. And we were qualifying. I had Sherry with me and Kyle. I was in the middle of about the first game and a half.
Mhm.
I'd step up on the approach, get all set and all this, and here out of the corner of my ear, here, Guppy. And I put my ball back down, turned around, and sure enough, here comes Junior. Here comes Kyle all the way down. And I said, look, one, you don't yell in the bowling center when people are bowling.
Right.
Don't go yelling my name when you're 10, 15 lanes down. Don't even yell it right behind me. Just when you come down here, come down nice and quiet, get my attention. And then he said, okay, but I need some quarters. I said, you call me off the lanes and get you some quarters. So I gave him a $10 bill, and I said, get the quarters. I think you get a roll of quarters, $10.
Yeah.
And that kept him qualified till I was done finishing.
So when I go see him in September, do you think I should give him a roll of quarters, or just in case he ever needs
it? See if he remembers it.
I think I'm gonna seriously do that. That's gonna be awesome.
Where's he gonna be in September?
Portland.
Oh, that's right.
Awesome.
I was up there one time. I flew up.
Yeah.
They had the doubles up there.
Yep. That's.
Oh, definitely. When you see him in Portland, tell him that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, hey man.
Father said to give it. Tell him. I said, but give him a roll of quarters for having to play the pinball machine.
Yeah. Be like, here, don't bug your father anymore. Here you go. Oh man, who'd you beat a lot on TV or in match play? Did you have any rivalries?
Oh, I don't know. I think everybody wanted to beat me as bad as I wanted to beat them.
Right.
You know, I bowled Norm. I had a good time with Norm in Columbus. I beat Wayne Webb in 1980 in L.A. We had a tournament in L.A. I ended up winning the tournament. It was funny because while we were qualifying, my ring, I wore one of my 300 rings, and it was one of the old ones for sure. It's better than this black and white. It's real gold in it. And it flew off when I followed through, and it went down a damn lane. We had to stop the tournament while somebody went down the lane, got the ring for me, and brought it back.
Wow. Did that deplete the value of the ring? I mean, obviously a 300 ring's priceless, but was there a bunch of oil on the ring or anything like that?
No, it was just good. I put it right back on my hand.
Okay, that's awesome. I know that you say everybody wanted to beat you? Who did beat you a lot on TV or in match play?
You know what? I didn't bowl that many guys on TV except for Wayne Webb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he ended up, he retired. He was smart. I kept bowling. He bought a bowling center and went up and worked that. And it just seemed I beat him in 1980. I beat him in Columbus in 85. And then I believe, Erie, Pennsylvania guy, I can't remember. The guy was so straight up a guy in Erie. Can't even remember his name.
Jimmy Johnson? No.
He quit a long time before I did. But I can't remember who it was.
Okay. All right. How many bowling balls did you carry on tour with you?
8 bowling balls. By then, there wasn't that many. There isn't even a third of enough bowling balls made. My son carries 45 to 50 bowling balls in his car. And then he takes in about 8 to 16 bowling balls and tries on the lanes and which ones work. He gets some idea of what the lanes are going to be like during the tournament. And he gets it down to around 8 or 9 to have in the bowl at one time.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to picture. Kyle will carry or will bring 45 to 50 bowling balls.
Yeah, he always has them in the back of the car, in the back of his. He bought a big. Oh God, I can't even think of the name of it, but he bought it. It carries him and Jesper Swenson.
Mm-hmm.
They're always together. Jesper's rooming with Kyle when he's always over.
Yep.
And I don't know how they keep that many bowling balls in the car, because he can carry his 40, 50, and you got Simon. You got Jesper's bowling equipment.
Oh my God!
Well, once they gather and give some of the guys, let them carry it on the truck and let them haul it for them.
Right. So when you would carry 8, because they were all urethane, what kind of
LT 48?
What's that?
LT 48.
Okay.
I won the 8 times, and I used the Brunswick I think 6 times. It was the same damn bowling ball.
Nice.
It was funny because I was bowling one time, and Harry Golden used to be the tournament director at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He came down and he says, you're going to have to resurface your bowling ball. I said, why? At that time, there wasn't any rule on how your bowling ball, but my track and my ball, was funny, but you go around in a complete circle, except in the track area, it was flat.
Mm-hmm.
It flattened out in the track area. And as it was, I went ahead and turned it in, had it resurfaced and all that, brought it back out, shot 160 over the next 6 games the following squad. And then checked the rule out, which I didn't really have to have it resurfaced. Because the rule was you can bowl all you wanted with it. They never wanted them resurfaced.
So you couldn't even resurface back then, right?
Oh, well, you could if you wanted to.
Okay.
You can always resurface them once you get a track out of it. But me, I like them as deep as possible.
Yeah, there you go. What was your favorite tour stop?
I hate to say it, the same one, Columbus, Ohio.
Sure.
It was funny after I won it, and the manager of the place, we had a great little bar in there, and we all just go in there. I remember Earl came in late one time before the show. It was Friday night. Everybody's in there celebrating, make the show and all that. And Earl comes in, and he's had a little bit to drink, which everybody did.
Mm-hmm.
And Earl and I always hit it off great.
Yeah.
But it was always I always partied in Columbus, Ohio, the whole time.
I'm actually going to Columbus in October.
Oh, yeah, it was Columbus Bowling Palace. It's still there, from what I remember.
That's where it is.
Yep,
that's where it is. It's a very nice synthetic lane. Okay, now I want to. I wonder if this is on YouTube, because I want to check it out. Because I remember I went there for the first time in 2021. I had trouble in practice. I just couldn't. I don't know what the deal was, but I just couldn't throw a good shot in practice. My first set was a doubles set. I shoot 170, either 178 or 173, and then I shot 178, 223, and then 209. I shoot 610, my first and only 600, right at the Columbus Palace, right there. So that
was where, like I said, I fell at home. I had a motorhome. I traveled with a 40-foot motorhome, Winnebago. And Russo, who's the general manager at that time, said, anytime you're within the area, just come on in, pull up the back side, and I could plug in, have power and all that for everything I needed. So I get within 200 miles. We had a week off for 2 or 3 days. I'd go ahead and drive back on over there. And then he just gave me the run of the place.
Yeah.
I still had to pay for my booze. That was the only bad thing about it.
Yeah. By the way, happy Easter, Gup.
Oh, same to you.
Yeah, and JTB says the same thing. Happy Easter to you. And hopefully everybody had a good one. And I actually didn't do anything. I was just alone and just doing my thing like a normal Sunday. It was awesome.
Oh, so, like I said, I had to go pick up Tyler from the airport at 3:30, but I probably haven't done much of anything either. Just sitting around. It was like 83, 84 degrees in here outside today. So I was supposed to mow the yard, but needless to say, I forgot about that. But tomorrow's supposed to be a good day again, so I'll probably mow the yard.
Yeah. So he wants to know, what are 3 things that you're grateful for today?
Well, the first thing is I'm still alive.
Yeah.
I swore back in, I said, oh, hell, I'll never reach to be 40 the way I lived. Because, I'd finish my bowling. We go in the bar and we do our karaoke.
Yeah.
It still goes on the national tour, too. Not that much, but I was just surprised that I lived past 40. Now I'm 74 years old. I don't know when I'm going to die.
Hopefully never, man.
Yeah. But it was fun.
Yeah.
I wish my leg still was able to. I can still bowl, but don't look for too many strikes or too many spares.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'll be your doubles partner any day with pride.
Hell, I can shoot 120 with the best of them now.
Still beat Tom Doherty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mr. 100.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? He says 3 things. Like, what else are you grateful for, man?
Well, I'm glad that I made a career out of my bowling.
Yeah.
Which, then I got married 3 times, and we had Kyle and we had Tyler about 5 years after that. And just, I was just glad for all the way I lived. Not everybody should have lived the way I would. That they've probably been dead by the time they were 40, 45 years old.
Yeah. He wants to know, what do you think of Kyle's year that he's having?
Oh, it's unbelievable. At the moment, it won't take him very long. If he might be past it already, but I made $947,000, I think. I never made $1 million. And now Kyle's getting close to that now. Either he will this year or he will by next year make $1 million.
That's incredible. What was it? What was it? And I know that this is your podcast and whatnot, but the reason I'm asking is because you're so proud. What was it like in 2021 to watch Kyle do what he did and just watch him be as successful as, did you ever see that coming?
Oh, never. He used to work he was manager down at the Wendy's.
Right
down the road from us. And he used to, he loved going to work. Then he came home one day and he said, I'm going to go ahead and quit Wendy's and join the PBA tour. I said, what? He said, yeah, I got it. I said, hey, it's all right with me. You can still live here at the house or whatever. And he did. He joined the tour and he didn't fare that good. And then all of a sudden he up and made almost $500,000 one year.
Yeah.
I said, Jesus. Pretty much that now. He has to be around me $1 million. I'll have to ask him that later on when I get off the phone.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your least favorite tour stop? Maybe a tour stop you didn't do as well at or whatever?
Oh, God. No, I didn't. I can't remember them. I bowled like 25 to 27 tournaments a year at the time. We used to have, starting January, we were on for 16 straight weeks. And we take a month off. Then we were back on for another 16 straight weeks. And I just, me and Wes Pye, a friend of mine, he works for one of the bowling ball companies now. He came with me one year from Columbia, drove all the way out to L.A., Vegas, and on up to Portland, Oregon. And we used to do that a lot. But like I said, Kyle's only got 17 or 18 tournaments a year now. That's the only thing I hate that the PBA does now. Why they don't want to have no 16 tournaments on, a month off, and then 16 tournaments on.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's not really worth that much anymore.
I wish they would go back to the way it was. So JT wants to know if Kyle spends a lot of time on his game, and he also sends off in the off season, and he also says that Kyle has 1,237,000.
Okay, tell him thank you very much.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that, and then I remember he made almost that $500,000. That should put him over me.
Yeah, it's a lot of quarters. Does he spend a lot of time on his game in the off season?
Well, he does. He works out a lot at the when he was living here with me. He just moved to Louisville last year, I think it was, and built a house. Yeah. And then him and his fiance now are going to be living there with the 2 kids. But he always was out like 2-3 times a week. He'd go to the bowling alley, and the guy would set up what he wanted, the long oil, short oil, or 40 feet or 38 feet, something like that. He'd set up the lanes. He'd go practice.
Yeah, nice. All right.
Now everybody likes it because they get a chance to meet him now.
Yeah, I mean, I was honored to. He's such a nice guy, and I was honored to meet him. Next on my bucket list, man, and I gotta shake your hand someday. I hope I get to do it.
Well, sooner or later, I might get the balls to drive all the way up there. I just hate planes.
Oh no, I got you. I do too, but they're necessary.
I don't like driving. I don't like flying. I think I probably about 700-800 miles that's enough drive for me in one day.
Yeah, right. When I go to Columbus, we're gonna do it kind of half and half. We're gonna go stop in Syracuse on Thursday night. This is Columbus Day weekend, and then we're gonna go to Columbus Friday morning and be there Friday night. The tournament starts on Saturday. So,
what is it? What kind of tournament?
It's the Northeast Regional Air National Guard Bowling Tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So singles, doubles, teams, and it's if you're
when is that again? When did you say? When is that?
Columbus Day weekend. Yeah. If you want, come on. And
September what?
Columbus Day weekend. So that's October. Let's see. Columbus Day is October 14th. So the tournament is 12 and 13.
Oh, okay. Because that's easy enough for me to ride on up there.
Why don't you? And you can be on my team.
Columbus said, no, you don't want me on team.
No, I do. I promise.
Yeah, Columbus is. I think I'd rather. That's about 400 miles.
Yeah.
From me.
Okay. Well, I'll keep in touch. Yeah.
When we get closer, give you a holler back, and never know if the weather's usually great down here. I might run into some bad weather up there, but it probably won't be that bad in November.
Yeah. Where did the PBA never go when you were on tour that you wish they had?
Oh God. They went, like I said, we did 32 weeks out of the year. We've been places that they don't even go anymore. I can't even think anywhere I'd like to. I mean, the only reason I joined it was I get to see the world, really, because I saw almost all the states, and we had to be at least in 35 or 40 of the different states.
Yeah,
when we bowled.
All right, okay. So everybody's watching. We're talking to Guppy Troup, Flush in the Pocket, presented by Brunswick, sponsored by Just in Time Recreation. Check them out at justintimebowl.com. JTB, if you want to know how old Guppy was when he started bowling, when you get subscribe and then watch this again. We covered that right at the beginning, sir. So check that out.
Way too many years.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So is there a PBA rule that you agreed with that maybe somebody else did not?
Oh, well, the one rule I didn't agree with was you're not supposed to go into a bar the day of qualifying. Even if you're not bowling at that time, you're not supposed to even be in the bar.
Okay.
I hated anything that was against us going in the bar. We went in the bar on the regular when I was out there, and I mean, everybody partied. I go in there nowadays, go out to see Kyle like I did in Columbus, or Indianapolis at the U.S. Open. I went up there last year and then this year, but these kids are so 110% against Well, not against, but I mean they're out there to bowl.
Mm-hmm.
We were out there just to have. I was out there to have fun and bowl.
Right.
When you're done bowl, when you're done, then you go in the bar and you hang out with the guys.
Right.
That's why the senior tour is probably a little bit. I like going to the senior tour more than I do the regular tour because I remember most of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Which nowadays, if I go to the regular tour, hell, I don't. Half the guys on tour I've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's just, the seniors just like it's. Well, right now it only pays $7,500.
Oh, I know,
and it's ridiculous because I remember I bowled in 2000, and it was 8,000 first. Then they dropped it down to 7,500, which I can't see how you can have some of the best bowlers in the world, Norm Duke, all those guys.
Yep.
Why at least start with $10,000 on first?
Yeah.
At least 10,000 is a good starting point, and then you just,
Or if the regular tour is 25, make the senior tour 20.
Yeah, except the senior tour has more stops than the regular tour.
Right.
And the nationals and they run. You come down south if you're like Kyle's age, 30. You're not old enough to bowl. Kyle has in our region. He might have a total of 10 tournaments to bowl all year, which he don't get to bowl that much now because he's regular on tour, bowling on tour or doing exhibitions and stuff like that.
Sure. But,
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, the seniors down here, 100, 120 guys show up every damn week. It's unbelievable. And then you have a regular regional. Sometimes they hit 150 guys because we don't have that many, many kids. When you see the mixture of the kids and the older guys.
So what was not a PBA rule that should have been a PBA rule?
Oh God, I don't know. We had some great rules, but I can't remember half of them.
Okay, no problem. What was the difference between the PBA then and the PBA now that you wish was the same as when you were on tour?
The way they bowl, we bowled 3 6s every week, and then they cut the top 24. They take 24 finalists every damn week. None of this, take top 64, except at Masters. They took top 64 back when I used to bowl. And I was sure it was top. I mean, you bowl 5, best of 5 games. I thought it was win the first one. If you win 3, you won. But if you didn't, you could go all the way through 5 games in the finals. And they just, well, if it hadn't been for, who is it, Bolorama or
Bolero?
Bolero, thank you. I can't ever get that name.
Right.
If it wasn't for them, the PBA would have been dead.
Yeah.
But it just seems that they don't do that much. The 17 weeks are on, and they do so many different type formats. Why they didn't make it, the way they like to in and out in less than a week sometimes. Kyle gets it. You get in there Monday. They have the rabbit. Then they get practice session. Then they start in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then the show's Sunday. Used to be every Saturday. Wide World Sports, 3:30 afternoon. When I was out there, it was every Saturday at 3:30.
Yep. What do you think of how cool is it that Kyle is on a few video games? How cool is that?
Oh, I think it's great. I haven't tried it much. Stay away from anything to do with bowling balls. I'm going to throw it before I can. But I've seen a few of the games he's on. He looks just like him.
Yep.
They keep making so many. That's why they're coming out with so many bowling games now, because they make the people look more than what they, you can put in a wild pair of pants and shirt on anybody, but you got to have the afro.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have the afro.
Yeah, absolutely.
I asked him the other day. He had his hair cornrowed. He's going to Detroit. I think they start
Next week?
sometime Monday or Tuesday of this
Right.
week. It's coming
Mhm.
week, and he had a guy up there corner his hair for him. He had the door so tight. I mean, all mine, it's back here now.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't go any up here, but I never touched the back. Just let it go.
Mhm.
But he had a cornrow at the one time and had it for 4 or 5 weeks and decided he'd go back to the afro. If
Mhm.
you had seen his afro when he was overseas one time, maybe about 4 years ago, he was over in Sweden or somewhere bowling. It unbelievable. You almost have to open the doors to get him through the door. It was so wide. It looked like
Wow.
it was fake, really.
So when I saw him, like the first time I ever heard his name was on your last show. How did he get the idea to go get that afro?
I don't know. He didn't get it. It just grew that way.
Well, I mean, right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, mine, I had to fix my hair. I had to go to the hairdresser and have her put it in an afro. Back in the 80s, that's what I wore, was something that looked like an afro. It looked like nothing like his.
No.
His looked like unbelievably so real. I'll still ask him. Used to ask Sherry every so often now, where did he get this hair? Must have got it from somebody. He didn't get it from me. And I don't know where it came from you. So
Yeah. So what would you say, what would you change about bowling to make it more attractive to a newer, younger demographic? It seems like some ways bowling is a dying sport. What do you think it could be done to change that?
I don't know, except if you would make it more, well, more appetizing, make it 30,000, 40,000 first and all that.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
still nowadays that do have $100,000 first. Got
Right.
100,000 this weekend
Mhm.
and did all right. But I mean, it's just they're stuck in their ways. They want to keep the PBA at the moment.
Mhm.
I don't know what the hell we're gonna do if these guys finally say, "Well, we've had enough."
Mhm.
I figure the next one's gonna be Brunswick to buy them, if anybody.
Yeah. Right.
But it's I want to see give a person start the rabbit on Monday, then start Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on through. Give them 4 or 5 days of, you know,
Yep.
maybe not 8 games. They went to 8 games now, so I've seen them where all they do is bowl 1 8 game blank, 1 8 game block, and that's it. Then they cut to the top, whatever,
Mhm.
which eliminates everybody. I mean, sometimes it takes the guys sometimes more than 8 games to get going.
Right.
I mean, Kyle's been up there real good. He shoots like 720 and he shoots like 500. That's 6. He still had the last 2 games that he can make up a little bit more ground.
Mhm.
But they're setting the way they see it. I don't know. I don't know nothing about who you sell it to or whatever.
Right.
We gotta need somebody to come in that's one of the billionaires
Mhm.
that'll buy the tour
Right.
and just run it the way it's. If anything, I go to 14 tournaments on, take 3 months off, then bowl 14 more. Give
Sure.
them something they can compete in where if you want to, you can. If not, you can hit a few and still work for a living.
Right. Absolutely.
You get more people that way. The more people they get, the more money they make. That's
Yep.
why I don't get what they, the U.S. Open used to be wide open. What they have 400 and some entries this last weekend at the Masters.
Yep.
They could have that every week, which I don't see why they don't with the money. The money's there. If you opened up, you proved it. 400 and something entries last week to
Yep.
where all they do, the U.S. Open was 93 entries
Mhm.
or 96 entries. That's all they ever have to the U.S. Open now.
Wow.
I mean, the pay's good for
Mhm.
the 90, the top third. The pay's real good now, but you're eliminating the field. They're rabbit squads now. They might have 90 guys shooting for 9 spots or 8 spots. When we bowled in, where was it? Weber's place in St. Louis.
Right.
that was one of they had a rabbit. They knew it was a small house. It was 32 lanes, and they had like maybe 8 or 9 rabbit squads, and they had about 60, 70 guys shooting for that, just that one spot. Then the following week, you got like 30, 40 entries into the rabbit squad. You get like 60, 70 entries to bowl, and half of the field makes it. I remember I bowled rabbits a long time ago. We'd bowl 5-game blocks. We'd bowl a 5-game block, then we'd take a break and then come back and bowl 5 more. As it turned out, a couple of rabbits we bowled 3 games. They said, y'all only got to bowl no more. Everybody's in the tournament. And nowadays, I can't believe they leave the U.S. Open closed at 96.
I don't like that either. I gotta be honest. It's like it's not the U.S. Open anymore. It's like the U.S. Invitational. It's like
that's exactly what it is. The only thing I never got along with ABC that much, USBC, whoever. The only thing I do like is they didn't close a tournament. It is 100,000. Their money's at the top. Now, if you look down at the bottom, it's about normal pay for what it was when I used to bowl in it, because they have to pay $100,000 first.
Man, though, I mean, do you think that even last place should be upped a little bit? Because I mean, what does it cost? It costs what, $14 a week on tour?
$14.
1,400. I'm sorry, 1,400.
I mean, rub me. How long you got 14?
No.
Yeah,
1,400.
normally it's like 14, 1,700, like that.
Yeah.
At least in the regular now, they've cut the field so much that I think at the U.S. Open, I forget, but it was like $4,000 for 17th, 18th place. It was real big of a money payoff.
Yep.
But you only had to pay a certain amount then.
Right.
They're never going to get. It's going to be. Hopefully, there's some billionaire out there that wants the tour to keep on going, and I wish they'd go back to normal.
Right. Absolutely.
They could support themselves. Really.
Right.
You go down, you open your field up. You got a tournament here in Mooresville, down the street. We got 50 lanes, 60 lanes on the car. Let them bowl down there. I mean, they fill the field with whatever entries you can have. That's it, and then that's double the amount of.
Didn't George Pappas has a place in?
He used to have it. That's what I was talking about, Mooresville.
Okay.
It's 60. Yeah, I think it's 60 straight across. We used to have a regional there and a national stop.
Yeah,
for the seniors. But he got out of it. He got the guy that was managing it for him. He ended up getting a few more buyers. They bought George out.
Okay.
So George, I see him every so often in Greensboro. Or not Greensboro. Where's the place? It's like 50 miles down the road from here. Gastonia. Okay. He keeps the bowling center there, but he gave Bill Martin, who's the general manager, he's been unbelievable. George gave him 50% of the business. That's the only business. George is in now. He owns 50% of Gastonia.
I'd love to chat with George if you could, let him get in touch with him and let him know about this. I'd love to talk to him. When you sit back and you think about your career, everything you've done, are you satisfied, or what else do you I mean, of course you want to win more, but is there anything that you hadn't done that you wish you had?
Not really. My career was more in regionals. Like I have 42 regionals now.
Wow.
Used to bowl the South. We had 40 tournaments a year with Harry O'Neill, who's the regional director, and he had Walton Verna ran the tournament when it just started. We would have one every single week for like 2 or 3 months in a row. We wouldn't have a break. I went with Harry to the Keys one time. We were down in Florida, and he didn't have a tournament coming until following next week. So he said, "Come with me." I took my motorhome down to the Keys, and we parked out on the water and stayed down there for a whole week. Then we got up and go back up the street, back up to Florida and bowl another regional.
Yeah.
But 40 a year, I don't think anybody comes close to even having 40 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was slim when he had 40. I mean, only 52 weeks in a year, but
Right.
God, we had a tournament. I was out in Portland, Oregon, and Tommy Nevitt, a friend of mine from Jacksonville, he used to travel with me on tour. We were out there. We decided I finished third, so we stayed around later on after the show was over, and we were out in the bar and partying and all that. And I said, "You want to go, or we got from here to Jacksonville, Florida to go." He said, "No, let's spend the night and think about getting up the next morning." I said, "Okay." So we drank and went back to my home, went to bed. I woke up about 3:00 in the morning. I let him sleep. I just got everything ready, cranked it up, and started driving. And we had more fun that way. Well,
Yeah.
It was funny. We were coming by not Jacksonville, Pensacola, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, if we don't stop that much, here it was Wednesday. Come Friday, there's a regional in Pensacola. We'd stop by on the way back to Jacksonville. So we did. We always had a regional bowling, just about.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, nowadays nobody has the regional, or if they are, they're 50-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I guess it's like cutting back, because all I wanted to do was make sure I was good enough on regional tour, and then I go ahead and invest some money and go back out and go out on the national tour and see how it do. At least back in that day, it was all right, because I always had regionals to pick up the money.
When did you retire from bowling and why?
Oh, well, every so often, I think I've had a bum leg now for probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it was, what year was it? 2010 or 12 that I went to Erie.
Mm-hmm.
I was more like off the tour. We still had our 32 tournaments a year and all that, but I didn't bowl that many. So every so often I'd show up at one or the other. But I think probably about 7-8 years ago, probably about 14. Yeah, maybe about 17. I decided I'd had enough.
Okay. All right. All right. Now you had if you don't mind me, you had a stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was out cleaning the outside of the house, and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I had to come over and sit down, and then I get back up and sat down. Then the wife came out of the house, and she took me to the hospital, and I guess I had some minor stroke.
Wow.
So that sort of ended my bowling and everything then.
Yeah. Hey, Gup, when was the last time you bowled 300?
Oh, God. It might have been the time that when we bowled here, I bowled with Kyle. It was a 2-man league. We had like 30 different guys, 2 on a team, had 15 teams. I had what's so bad, I had the record. It was 854 for 3-game set in the house. And then I brought Kyle in, wanted to bowl with me. So we bowled as a team. And then Tyler bowled with somebody else. He bowled as a team. And next thing I know, I was bowling. I shot 300. Shot 300 when I shot 854 for the city record. And then next thing I know, Kyle comes around. He shoots 300. I shoots 858 and beat me. And now it's still that record at the house is 858.
Wow.
And then here you got Tyler down the other day. He's in the same league. He shoots 300. I had the front 9 and stone the 10 pin. And I said, well, I did that because I wanted to hurry up and finish before Kyle started the 10th, or before Tyler started the 10th frame. And I was done, and he ended up shooting 300 then.
Yep. Now, are the two-handed style for Kyle, are you okay with that? I mean, that's...
Oh, I'm 100% for it. Both my kids throw both two-handed. Tyler does and Kyle does.
Yeah.
I tried it, but I get it right here in my leg, and that's as far as my body won't turn it, so the ball will go past it.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried it. I mean, Walter's
Wow.
tried it. Walter's just 300 on national TV. Or, I mean, not national, but during the qualifying.
Yeah.
A lot of guys tried it. Walter can use any hand, but of course he's going to use one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when he's maybe out of it and he ain't got a chance that he might pull it out and try shooting with two hands again. I
Sure.
like it.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not bad.
Belmo was the first one in the world that thought about it when he was little.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, it's funny on that show that Kyle and I made.
Yep.
He ended up throwing one hand on TV. He was bowling Tommy. I think he finished or so he had one frame left, but he'd already won the tournament. And he goes, "Watch this!" And he got up there and threw it one hand and it flushed it and struck.
That's awesome.
I said, how lucky was that?
That's awesome. So the reason I was asking when, talking about all this 300, because you're going to bowl 300 tonight, only using your voice. I'm going to ask you 12 questions that just for fun. Let's go flush in the pocket with Guppy. I can't believe I did that with Guppy Troup. And yeah, my God, I was hoping that one thing not to do tonight, but Guppy Troup. Let's get started. What's your favorite food?
Steak and potatoes.
Yep. You do steak medium well or medium rare?
Medium. Medium's good enough.
Yep. All right. What's your favorite music?
Rock and roll.
There you go.
AC/DC mostly.
Oh, okay. If you were not a professional bowler, what would you have done for a living?
I'd be a tool and die maker by now because I worked at a tool and die shop for 5-6 years when it was first coming out, and then they wouldn't let me off to go work, so I quit. Or they wouldn't let me off to go bowl, so I quit.
Mm-hmm. All right. What's your favorite time of day?
Probably about noon, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, there you go.
No idea why, but
sure.
Usually I'm awake by then.
There you go. I love it. What are you binge watching right now?
What is it? I got it cut off. Oh, Journey to Mysterious Island.
Okay.
With The Rock.
All right. When on tour, what did you do to take your mind off of bowling?
Went back in the bar and drank.
What's your drink of choice?
Crown Royal. Crown and water.
Oh my God.
Now I've gotten good because they went to all this different Crown Apple, Crown Peach, Crown. The only thing I haven't tried is Crown Blackberries. I guess it's the newest one that's come out.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has it, except the place where I go to the liquor store has it, but it sells out so fast. And they came out with Crown Black, which is 90 proof. And that's what I went to, and that's all the hell I ever drink anymore.
That's awesome. Favorite vacation spot?
We went to Bermuda.
Yeah.
Because we went over there and bowled one time. Well, I ended up going about 3 or 4 times. But we always had a good time in Bermuda.
Yeah. All right.
I never won it, but I finished second or third, but nobody cared then. Everybody had their booze and get ready to bowl, and that was it.
What's the smartest thing you've ever done?
Oh, God. Married my third wife.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Sherry.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Cancer sucks, man.
Oh, it does.
Oh, God. How do you, if you don't mind me asking, how are you holding up?
I'm pretty good. Like I said, there's just me and Tyler here at the house now. That and the 3 dogs. I got this size, and this size. You can add all 3 of them together. Then they ain't one that normal people have.
Yeah. I'm really sorry.
We're doing great. I mean, Tyler and I get along good. He goes to work. I think he's gone to bed now to get some sleep because he's got to work in the morning.
Yep. What would you say is the dumbest thing you've ever done?
Oh, well, back to the bar again. Got drunk in the bar, and won't tell you what happened, but
Nope. Sure. Okay.
there
No
was
problem.
so many good times telling you at the bar, and everybody knows what I've done. And when I get really wound up, and I hear so many stories from guys. Oh man, I seen it. You remember back in 1980 something, and you were drunk and all that and all that. I said, no, I don't, but I guess it was fun, wasn't it?
Well, when you were talking about you weren't allowed to go in the bar when you were qualifying, what if you were just gonna have a sandwich and a Coke? I mean,
Yeah, you could do that, but
okay.
you wouldn't do that in the bar.
Right. Yeah, I guess
It's
so.
funny because 1985, I'm in the Austin Open,
Mhm.
and I led from game one. Marshall Holman's girlfriend was an Indian. She came down to me, and I was about fourth frame, first game. I got the first four. She says, congratulations. I said, oh, thank you for my first four. She said, no, because you're going to win today. Or you're going to win this week. I said,
Ooh.
I ain't got but the first four. And you tell me, I said, watch it. You will win. Well, I shot 300 the first game of qualifying, never fell out of the lead, and shot. I'm getting ready to come out. You got Mark Baker,
Yep.
and Ferraro.
Okay.
Dave Ferraro
Yep.
bowl each other right before whoever wins bowls me.
Mhm.
It was Martin Baker, 279, 278. Now I'd sat back there and watched the both.
You have 278?
No,
You
Mark
shot
did.
278.
I didn't. They were
Okay.
right before they got to me. They're bowling each other.
Okay.
And Mark won with the 278 against Ferraro's 270, 277 or something like that.
Sure,
It's
yeah.
in the 70s, but then I'm bowling. I walked into the bar at that time, and Harry Golan's girlfriend, you must say, was out there. She was an older lady. She says, what are you doing? Well, I'm going to have a drink or two. I got a whole game that they're bowling right now. So I had 5 kamikazes and 3 Crown and Waters.
Mhm.
And I said, now I'm ready. Now they just finished 279 and 278. Well, I got up. I had to check with Connie Smoot. She was the Columbia rep because I always used a white dot as a spare ball. I said, this is all right if I use a white dot. I'm using a Star Trek when they were in business. I used that day. And no, she said, go ahead. Still pay for it. And I went strike. Then I went open, spare, open, spare, open, spare, open, spare, open, spare. 186.
Oh.
Won by 30. Mark Baker shot 152.
Oh my gosh.
Shoots 279 and then turns right around, shoots 152. Man, was he scared of me? I mean, Mark Baker was at least a foot taller than I was. And he was built too.
Oh yeah.
But that was the last time I bowled for a title, or the last title I won. Was in 1985 in Austin.
Wow. Man, I'll tell you. You know, I shot my high game is 251. Right after I did that, I shot 116. So I get it. I get it.
He must have been wired or something when he bowled him, because when he bowled me, he was totally lost. Took the 3-pin out of the rack, big split, all kinds of shit.
Man, I can't believe that. That's wow, that's crazy. What's one bowling shot you'd like to have back?
Back in Columbus, Ohio, I finished second, or I won that first year. The second year we showed up, I qualified second again and went on to bowl. I bowled a guy from Florida that I knew. And it was a strike to beat him, and I stone 8. That was in the first match, and then he goes on to bowl Tom Baker for the title. He shoots 150 something. Tom shoots 160 something and wins. I would love to have back the shot that I could have gone ahead and bowled for the title twice, like Kyle did at the U.S. Open. At least I could have tied him that way.
Yeah.
Could finish second one year and then first the next.
Yeah. Wow. Who would you say is the best bowler who never won, either your era or whenever era you want?
Oh, I'd have to say the guy that bowled on TV today has never won yet. He's only made 1 or 2 TV shows. Not the guy that won, but whoever finished second. I can't remember his name now.
Pat Dombrowski.
Dombrowski, yeah. Because I remember bowling him years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I never, like I said, the only reason he doesn't get out on tour is because he had a job.
Mm-hmm.
But then they said something about it today that even he got laid off.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's going to maybe pick up and bowl a lot more tournaments this year. I'm sure, I got 50,000 today for second place, but you can either back yourself or some guy come to you and give you $30,000 a year or whatever you need.
Yeah. When you're on staff, do they pay your entry fee or do you still have to pay that?
No, you still pay your entry fee. There's 2 staffs really. Staff that gets paid, staff that don't get paid. Like Tyler's on storm staff.
Right.
And he gets his equipment, free and stuff like that, different bags or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now Kyle gets X amount of money per year, which I can't believe he makes that much. Goddamn, more than I've ever made.
Well, you know what you should do? You should call Kyle up and be like, hey man, I need quarters. I'm gonna do 100.
I think I will. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I might do that tomorrow when he talks to him. Hey,
man,
how much I need to roll the quarters, will you?
Yeah. Man, I had so much fun with you. I hope you had a great time.
Oh yeah.
My next show is was gonna be Thursday, but we're moving that to the 18th. So we got next up we got Justin Romick on the 13th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then we got Dale Dale Eagle on the 18th.
Oh. Good luck.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's gonna be fun. Rocio Restrepo on the 20th of April. So
well, like I said, keep in mind on me because it's only 400 miles up to Columbus, and I'll sit back there and root you on and take a drink.
I appreciate it, man. Listen, Gup, thank you so much for your time, and you'll be a friend for life. And you got my number. Call or text me anytime. Thank you, man. You have a great one. All right.
You got it. I had a great time, and anytime you need anything, just call me.
All right, buddy.
Talk to you later.
Would you rather I call you or text you?
Probably text me. Probably the best.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
Well, you be well, and I'll talk to you soon. All right.
You got it.
All right. Bye.